It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see which conference reigns supreme today. It's the Saints and the Silver and Black, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Opened in 2020 and immediately one of the main attractions here on the Las Vegas Strip. Welcome everyone to Allegiant Stadium. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they've definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Late groupie out and ready to send this away. And we're off and running in Las Vegas. It's Amir Abdullah with the return. They'll have decent field position to begin with here. Brock, he's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. So out head the Raiders for their first possession. They're brought out by someone who's kept the exact energy now as he had when he entered the league back in 2019. It's Gardner Minshew.
Kate, I don't know how many people know the story of Gardner Minshew and how close he was to becoming a GA and coaching. Mike Leach got on the phone with him and said, hey, why don't you take one more swing at this thing? Come out to Pullman, Washington, and lead my pirate ship. And all he did with that mustache was light the college football world on fire. And all he's been in the NFL with multiple organizations is that same spark plug that just makes something.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense is energized following that stick for a loss.
That's the way. That's exactly the way you show a crowd you've got no issues playing on the road. One snap in, you're celebrating a sack while the tens of thousands in the building, well, they watch their guy pick himself up off the turf.
2nd and 10 now. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Tried getting that one to Brock Bowers. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Seeing some early game planning at work here, Brock. They were quick to attack that throw and break it up.
Yeah, this defense knows the importance this offense places on throwing the ball to their tight ends, and they were ready for it and all over it.
Complete beyond the marker. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That one goes for 25 yards. And that's a Vegas first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Inside handoff goes to Madison. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Really Gay there on the tackle. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Really Gay there on the tackle.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Minshew working from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points. Wilson, all set now for the kickoff. Here comes Williams on the return. He's stopped on the return at the 27. So the Saints offense taking over for the first time here. And they're brought out by the second rounder who's been climbing the leaderboard since 2014 at a Fresno State, Derek Carr.
One thing you can always trust about Carr is to give you a lot of games and a whole lot of numbers as a starter each and every season. He's just got a lightning quick release. I love watching him throw a football, but he's not gotten a lot of chances at postseason moments. And time is not on his side.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They kick the running back in motion. Carr starting with a throw. He gets it to Juwan Johnson. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
2nd and 3 now. From the 34. That's caught by Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Pistol snap to Carr. Catch made by Alvin Kamara.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on 1st down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on 2nd down.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Carr off the play fake. Gets this to Johnson. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
And it's a nickel look by the Raiders. 3rd down coming up. Throwing again, it's Carr. Olave with the catch. And they get there to take him down right around the 41.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. No return on this one. It's going to make it out of bounds and across the 25, spotted at the 24. Now for the 2nd time this game, we get a look at the Raiders' offense. And they'll have a little momentum as they take the field here after their kicker drilled a deep one to end their last drive with points. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Madison. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good for a Raiders first.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
1st down, and they go right back to it. And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Big man up front said, not in my house. Let me tell you, Kate, once you're in the grasp of one of those big old fellas on the D-line, you're done. They would say it on the East Coast like this, it's over, over.
From the shotgun, Minshew. Pass taken in by Marshall. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips, cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. They give it to Madison, and he gets a few on the plunge forward.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Second down now, 7 to go. Here's Madison again. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. And play wrapped up by Demario Davis. Stuck to the ground, but nothing gained that time, and it brings up 3rd and 7.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Minshew. Complete out to the right. And he takes it inside the 35 before heading out.
You get to that money down, that 3rd down, you look to your money players, and this tight end is capable of it. Let's give some credit to the defense right there. Did an amazing job, not only sticking to him, but bringing him down before he can move the chains.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And another field goal makes it 6-0 for him.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Here comes Williams on the return. Finds some space. He's past the 30. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. This New Orleans offense readied up for its second drive of the contest. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. This is Alvin Kamara with it. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. Kamara's got it. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Stopped by the unmistakable Max Crosby.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, Carr. This is reeled in by Kamara. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
This running back is a mismatch maker. That's how I label him on my little sheet right here. Right under his bio, this guy just creates matchup nightmares for every defender on the field.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Pressure coming for Carr. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
It is such a weapon offensively when you've got a big tight end that can stretch the field vertically. Not a lot of DBs have the size to cover him. They tried to get it to him in that spot where he could win it, but unfortunately, no connection to be made.
A tight end in motion now. 2nd and 10, here's Carr. Completes this one to Hill. And they bring him down around the 34.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
It's Kamara on 3rd down. And they take him down right along the 30. It's a gain of 4 there. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Carr here from the gun. And he can't reel it in. Incomplete. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. They go play action with Khan. That's caught. Rashid Shaheed makes the play. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
I don't care how good a secondary you are, how loaded you are with talent. When you've got time to allow a receiver to work from one side of the field all the way to the other versus zone coverage, well, you're going to make a defense pay.
All set up now for 1st and 10. They bring the tight end in motion. Kamara now on 1st and 10. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about.
Holding offense.
So now, partner, got to reevaluate what to do on this next snap because the holding call pushes them back quite a ways. Throwing his car. Cut near the goal line. And this is down all the way to the 3.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
They won't snap it in time. That is going to be the end of the 1st quarter. Our score, 6-0. We'll return to Allegiant Stadium right after this. We're back for the start of the 2nd. Saints have the ball and a chance at 6. Carr setting to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down.
I know we talk about rhythm a lot when it comes to music, but it's the same thing with a quarterback and his protection. This QB was in rhythm, but they knocked the notes out of him on that one.
On 4th down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Groupie. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. Mickatommy's kick is good. And that cuts the lead in half, down to 3.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative, is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Fielded at the 7. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Vegas offense getting set for another drive now. And the last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They give now to Madison. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Yeah, you want to get about 5 yards to carry? Well, put together runs like that. And I'll tell you what else a run like that does, Kate. That sets up the play action, right? When you really just gouge and gash a defense like that, the next time you run that action, they're going to be thinking running the ball could go right over their head.
Play action, it's Minshew. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game. And now they face 2nd down.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage. And that really did help force the incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down here, Minshew. Caught. Trey Tucker makes the play. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They've got a man in motion. Throwing on first is Minshew. Builds up this one off to his running back, complete. And they make the tackle at the 38. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good for a Raiders 1st.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on a defense.
1st and 10, Minshew. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. So it'll be 2nd down. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. And they just did.
And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
Hey, look, any run of this size is going to wound the defense. But you get this game going right up the heart of their defense, you start to break their will and break their pride.
Minshew on 1st down. He's on the move. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't, they call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
All right, here we go, 2nd down. Trying again, following the sack. Pass caught, 9-yard line. A flag's down as he stops. Looks like this one's on the offense. Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there. That earns the holding penalty. Offense to the line for 2nd down. Minshew working from the gun. Caught by his back. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once, I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
3rd and long for him here. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
Boy, take a look at that. Look at him locking down his area of the end zone. They can bring it in close enough to take shots, but there are no easy touchdowns.
So now on 4th down, the Raiders elected to send Daniel Carlson out for the field goal. This is a 42-yard look from the left hash. And that one is good. A little longer, but no problem at all. And that'll double their lead to 6.
Give him the first half trifecta. He's 3 for 3 on field goals. And as much as they'd like 6 points to end drives, not 3, they can at least be happy they're getting consistent looks inside field goal range. He's delivering.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Here comes Williams on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. New Orleans back on offense and ready to go now. They managed 3 on their last drive, but down inside the red zone, disappointing not to come away with a touchdown. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Running back sent in motion. Gets him on the in route. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. 3rd and short in your back pocket. You can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
They give on 2nd to Kamara. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. It's a 4-yard gain, and that's going to get him across the marker and earn the 1st.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And his charge towards the line, that's right around 3 yards.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Second down now, 7 to go. Another run for Kamara. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior. 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. They stay on the ground with Kamara. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. They send a tight end in motion. Carr off the play fake. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Now Carr. That's complete to Kamara. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Here comes the Saints punting unit. Back deep for the Raiders, Trey Tucker. So this one sails over the sideline, and they'll spot it where a touchback would go at the 20-yard line. Out comes Las Vegas on offense. And they were able to contribute 3 points to the lead their last time out. Another chance to build on that advantage here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's the give to Madison. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. They'll go right back to Madison. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Sent to the ground by Pete Werner. They'll get that yard back, but no more. It's 3rd and 10.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Minshew now on 3rd down. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the first. So it's the 2-minute warning here from Allegiant. The Raiders pushing for a bigger lead before halftime. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Minshew has him on the quick hitter. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
This ball's cut by Bowers. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Sticking in the air with Minshew. Escapes the pocket. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a 1-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth. But a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
And now the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. They really need some chunk yardage here on 2nd down. Another try following the sack. That one falls to the turf, couldn't hang on, it's incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Out of the gun, Minshew. Defense is there, and he's going down. For the moment, we've got a sack. We do, though, have a flag to sort out first before we can lock that in. Well, the negative play makes it even easier to decline that flag, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Now the Raiders readying for the punt, and they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. The punt's away, and this one looking good. Angled this one for the sideline. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. The Saints are going to take over now near the end of the half. And we're a shade away from 50 seconds to go in the half. That's enough time to put something together. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They're going play action. He put everything he had into this one. That one is swatted away, incomplete, but there's a flag down in the secondary, and I think they're going to get somebody here for holding. So the refs get him for holding, and that's going to back this offense up. That holding penalty is going to make 1st down twice as tough. They're 20 from the marker to start things out. From the shotgun, Carr. He's trying to go deep again. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Carr here from the gun. Can't connect over the middle. It's incomplete.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Handoff headed right, Kamara. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. A timeout taken by Vegas. That's its 2nd. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. So out now comes the punter. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. Fair catch called for and made at the 35-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt. And it'll be Raider football. First down, ball at the 36. Here's Minshew. He's going to loft one deep to the left. He's got it inside the 10. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. Now, just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break. Daniel Carlson out to try this Raiders field goal. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that'll make it a 2-score game.
In that close, kicks have to be automatic. That won't stop the head coach, though, from holding his breath for a couple seconds until he sees it's up and good.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. One last play before the break. Throwing it just before halftime. He's going to try to drop it in deep right. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. We're at halftime here in Vegas. The Raiders defending their building thus far. As we hear from Jonathan Coachman over in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit, but first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Reports. Both these teams making their way out of the tunnel, and we're ready for the second half. And for the call, we send it back to Kate Scott and the other blonde bomber, Brock Hewitt.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The New Orleans offense ready to get to work to begin this third quarter. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They're going to start on the ground with Kamara. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Stopped by the unmistakable Max Crosby. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you could be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, it's Carr. That's incomplete left side. Looking for his wide receiver there. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Carr with it on 3rd and short. Complete beyond the marker. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. They run it from the gun with Kamara. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Even 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means. But one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Running behind center with Kamara. And they bring him down around the 34. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in the pocket for a later occasion.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Carr. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. He's got a gain of 6 there. Jack Jones making that tackle.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the two defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
Here's a give inside to Kamara. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. They kick the running back in motion. That's complete to Valdez-Scantling. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
Move the chains. Got to move them chains. Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Searching for Chris Olave with that one. So it's 2nd down coming up. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
Kamara running out of the gun. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field.
Holding offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Here's Carr. That's complete to Wilson. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line.
So many times, Kate, when I see these receiver screens, I think punt return. It's like a punt return. On punt return, it's all about those blocks. The returner's got to catch it, and he's got to feel those blockers in front of him. It's no different on a big play like this with the wide receiver screen.
Throwing again, it's Carr. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. The Saints cut into the lead coming out of halftime. Chris Olave with the touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Blake Grupe to try the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Saints cut the lead down to just 2.
Saints 10.
We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. Abdullah now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Time for the Raiders offense to hit the field. That lead already smaller than it was at the break, Brock, and they're going to face a little pressure now on this opening series. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Inside handoff goes to Madison. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Minshew working from the gun. Finds him over the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that's good for a Raiders first.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Up the middle they go with Madison. Runs inside the 35. And he has this all the way down to the 29-yard line. That play good for 17 and a first down.
It was University of Wisconsin, Kate, the first time I heard this term, slow to explode through. And think how good that Badgers run game has been at the college level. Well, they made runs like that look easy. Slow to explode through.
This is ahead for about 5. That play wrapped up by Demario Davis. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
Fans love the long ball in baseball. It's like they got the home run derby, but you know what? Talk to managers, and they will tell you small ball can win too. Singles and doubles, you add them up, you could win a lot of baseball games. Football coaches will tell you get runs of that length. It may not be a home run, it may not score points, but it can do some serious damage.
Falls to the ground out left, incomplete.
I think everybody on the offense was already thinking about the next play to run as they watched that short little throw to the tight end. You really don't expect to see many of those gimmies dropped.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Pass caught, 9-yard line. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have first and goal.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Four downs now to get in. Here's first and goal. Here's Madison. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. This is going to go as a pickup of 4. 2nd and goal coming up.
Hey, I get it on first and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Running right, it's Madison. And that's going to be a touchdown. It's on the board for now. But will it stand? We got to see what this flag is all about.
Holding. Offense.
Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard.
Still second down.
So the holding backs him up. They'll try to get that back and then some on 2nd and goal. They'll run here following the penalty. And not much for him there. He's down to the 15-yard line. You got maybe a yard there, so a long 3rd and goal coming up.
Where you get a little bit closer, but you can feel the pressure starting to mount. Unless you're committed to playing 4 downs here, this becomes a critical 3rd down call.
Now Minshew on 3rd and goal. And he sails that one over the end zone.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
So now on 4th down, the Raiders elected to send Daniel Carlson out for the field goal. This 32 yards out. It's on the right hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that grows the lead to 5.
That's a handful of field goals for him now, Kate. In fact, 5 in this game, and they've needed every one of them to put together the lead they do have as we sit here at this point in the game.
all set now for the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. Returns looking good so far. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40. The Saints and running back Alvin Kamara trotting back out to the field. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear, hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
This is Kamara. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
To be a stud back in this league, it takes more than just checking the athletic boxes. There's an IQ, a feel, a patience and craftiness required along with just tremendous vision. He showed all of it navigating that run up the middle.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Throwing now from the gun. That one's cut along the left sideline. Excellent pickup to move the chains, 36 yards in the end.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
What a spot for a big play, huh, Brock? It has him well into the red zone now with 1st and 10. Motioning one of the tight ends. Now Kamara. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Motioning the tight end now. Running right, it's Kamara. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Working way too much on that one, Brock. Over the end zone and out.
Well, you've got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
On 4th down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. This is going to be a 31-yarder from the right half. Mickey kick is good. And that trims the lead to just a couple.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. 2nd time they brought him out for a field goal, and 2nd time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. Abdullah now to return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Raiders are back onto the field, led by Gardner Minshew. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. That play wrapped up by Demario Davis. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Short pass brought in. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. From the gun, a run for Madison. And he's got a chunk of yards as we've reached the end of 3. 3 quarters in the books from this one. It's the Raiders' ball, a chance at a win if they can hang on to this lead. First and 10 from the 41. Minshew setting up to throw. Complete here to Bowers. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Throwing here, Minshew. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. To the ground with Madison. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
First down, and they go right back to it. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be 2nd down.
The only thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They motion Marshall over left. From the shotgun, Minshew. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Minshew now on 3rd down. That's caught for the first. And he's brought down inside the 10 at the 9. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
You know, they call the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
All set up for an insurance score here. It's 1st and goal. Here's the give to Madison. Scores! Touchdown, Las Vegas! The Raiders push this to an 8-point game. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that can score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Point after try upcoming to make this a two-score game here in the fourth. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders push the lead to 2 scores now. All set now for the kickoff. Here comes Williams on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Saints ready to return their offense to the field. And they settled for a field goal on their last series, so points are a positive, but they'll look to upgrade to a touchdown here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Now a run with Kamara. And he drives into a pile of defenders and is stopped right at the line. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
As that linebacker makes that tackle right in the middle of the field, all I'm thinking about right now, Cage, training camp. Because that's the middle drill right there. That is textbook. What you do in training camp, coming to life when it matters.
2nd and 10 now. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
1st down, ball at the 36. Here's a give to Kamara. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a 1st down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Carr here from the gun. This is reeled in by Kamara. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Pistol snap to Carr. Has it downfield, working the left. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 28 out of that play. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Carr. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down. Back to the air, Carr. This one's taken in by Hill. And he's going to be out of bounds. Looks like a yard or 2 short of the 25.
This defense defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, it's Khan. He's throwing deep to the left side. They connect on the deep shot. And he brings it in for a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints have cut it to a 3-point game here in the 4th. Chris Olave with a touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Group B to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Saints cut the lead down to just 2. We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. Abdullah now to return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Raiders and Alexander Madison ready for another go on offense. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Minshew. He'll get this to Tucker. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
He's out in the clear. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And that's good for a Raiders 1st.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
1st down, ball at the 36. Here's Madison again. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 32. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
That sure ended up being worst case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
And the Saints go in nickel. 3rd down. Back to throw it. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for We're down to the 2-minute warning here in Vegas. Raiders up by just a couple of points. On comes Daniel Carlson for a pretty important kick. From the right hash, this is going to be a 51-yarder. Got all of it, and this is good! And now their lead will push out beyond the field goal.
So after that make, a field goal won't cost them a lead, but a touchdown still ties it, or likely probably puts them down a point. Okay, this is one of those moments where the defense now has clarity. They know what the stakes are, and what they have to defend.
Carlson, all set now for the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. The Saints and Derek Carr about ready to get back to work. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this, couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process.
Hey, Kate, the best kick returners I was ever around, really at any level, they want this opportunity. They want their chance to help their team. They know they're down, but they also know that return, especially a good one like this, can set the offense up for success.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Running back sent in motion. Back to throw. Hits his running back. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down. The Saints calling for a timeout, their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting that first. Setting up to pass. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting a completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. He'll look to throw it. He doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. It brings up 3rd down.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush and came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Here he is to throw. Olave with the catch. Decent gain here, but short of the 1st.
Awareness. You've got to be aware. Play caller, quarterback, receiver have to be aware of where the sticks are. That route just not enough, not deep enough to extend the drive and move the chains.
Now the Saints hustling people forward. They need to get set. To him and hold him down. What a play, forcing the sack, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
Coach is challenging to get the defense off the field with a stop. Rose to the challenge and delivered on that one, really overwhelming the line of scrimmage.
The Raiders back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. That defensive stand might have been the final effort needed to seal away the victory, Brock, but can't quite take off the pads just yet. Offense has to finish this one out.
Yeah, a few things here, Kate, to keep in mind, right? You got to slow the game down as a quarterback. Take every second off the clock. If you're handling the ball, you guard it with your life, and you make sure your defense doesn't come on the field again. They just did their job. Now you got to do yours.
And this is Madison. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. Timeout taken by the defense. They're second. And they'll have just one left to burn now. Second and 3 now. They'll run here from the gun. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. The Saints call their third and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Setting up for the kneel down on third. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
Fourth down now. Another kneel would stop the clock and turn it over. Let's see what they do here. Out of the gun, Madison. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. So put this in the win column for the Raiders. And finally, Brock, they can exhale and take a few breaths, because I don't imagine any of them were breathing easy during that one with how close this game was.
Them or us? We're both.
All of us.
Yeah,
all of the above.
It is so hard, Kate, to match the adrenaline surge they feel right now, and that they felt at every major turn throughout the second half. There's just something about a close game, the intensity that's there in every moment that you love to experience as a player, and that you hope in all these moments you can execute so you're the one celebrating and riding that wave of emotion.